Ready to connect your agents to Slack in less than 10 minutes? Hi, awesome admins. I'm Kate Lassard, lead admin evangelist on the admin relations team at Salesforce, and your host of Kate Clicks Through It, where we don't just talk Salesforce, we click through it. If you're anything like me and you learn best by doing, you're in the right place. Each episode will walk through a back-end process step by step so that you can up-level your Salesforce skills like a pro. Ready to dive in? Let's click through it. As Salesforce admins, we play a crucial role in ensuring our users get the most out of the platform. This means that sometimes we have to go where they feel most comfortable. And one of these places is Slack, a tool that connects people and apps. By connecting Agentforce and Slack, we can boost satisfaction and productivity for our users by bringing together apps, people, data, and now agents. So let's take the first step towards becoming dual threat Salesforce and Slack agents by connecting Agentforce and Salesforce, bringing our intelligent agents directly into our users' communication hub. For those of you clicking along with me, you're going to need both an Agentforce Developer Edition and a test Slack workspace. You can get the Slack workspace by joining the Slack Developer Program, or if this is your first time connecting Salesforce and Slack, I recommend going to Trailhead and following the steps in the Connect Your Agentforce org with Slack project to walk through getting an Agentforce Developer Edition org, a Slack playground, and connecting them. We are starting this click-through from a point where Slack and Salesforce are already interfacing. So as admins, it's no surprise that our work begins in setup. So I'm going to open up setup here and head over to Agent Builder. So in the quick find, I will type in agents, open up Agentforce agents, and I am going to be using my project manager agent that I have created. It's important to note that connections aren't available for default agents, so this is a case where you are not going to want to use your default employee agent. You'll see that I created a service agent for us to work with today. So let's open in Builder. And I already created a topic for us. We will come back to that. If you are hesitant to create your own topic, you can start off by leveraging the general Slack topic from the asset library. So let's take a look at what that could be, because it's a great starting point. It already has some generic instructions in place for us. So let's take a look. If I click New and go to Add from Asset Library and open up this general Slack topic, this is going to offer us a topic already created with a description and scope, as well as some kind of common Slack instructions that we might need. Now you can always add new instructions here. You can revise these, so you can still customize this quite a bit. But if I scroll up and go look at this topic's actions, you can see that pretty much every Slack action that I could ever need is already going to be here in this topic for us to use. But let's head back. I am going to actually remove this topic from our agent because we're going to use our own topic so that we can walk through the process of adding the actions and instructions ourselves. So I'm going to start off by adding in some additional Slack actions. So if I open up our Slack project management topic and I head to this topic's actions, you see I have a couple here already. I'm going to add some more. Let's go to New. I will add from the asset library, and there are 4 that I am specifically looking for. You can always search for them here, but this is alphabetized, so I'm just going to scroll down and find the ones I need. The first one I'm looking for is to create a Slack canvas right here. The next one I'm looking for is search Slack, so I'll go down to the S's, search Slack. I want send a Slack direct message, and update a Slack canvas. And I am going to click finish. So you'll see that now I have all of these actions listed in my agent actions. So let's head back to topic configuration because we can't just give our agent actions and expect it to know what to do. We have to provide a bit of context on how we want our agent to use these actions in Slack. So we do this with instructions. I already have some instructions here, but I'm going to go ahead and add some more. And I have 2 instructions that I want to make sure to add. I want to make sure that if a user requests to add project details, that we're creating that canvas in Slack. And then I also want to make sure that I'm always asking for a title when I'm creating a Slack canvas. So I will hit save. And now that we've added our Slack actions and some specific instructions, let's get this show on the road and connect our agent to Slack. But first, we need to make sure that our agent is active. And this is the step that I always miss. I always think it's like a little bit of an admin gotcha. I am going to click this activate button before we move on so that we can create that connection. Okay. So I'm now going to head to this connection sub-tab over here on the left-hand side. And you might recall that I mentioned that this isn't available if you are using your default agent. So if you're in that default employee agent, you might not see this connections sub-tab. So you're going to want to go ahead and create your own agents outside of the default to be able to do this. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down to connections and I'm going to click add. I want an API, and I am going to name this. So I'm going to name this my Slack PM agent. My connected app is Slack. Got ahead of myself there. And I am going to click save. Okay. So you might be wondering what would have happened if you had forgot to activate your agent, if you fell for that admin gotcha. It's an easy fix. When you click that save button, you would get an error alert just letting you know that your agent isn't active. So you could kind of exit out of that, activate your agent, and then try again. All right, now we're going to head over to Slack. We have the connection live in Salesforce, and we need to actually deploy the agent in Slack. So I'm in my Slack workspace here. I am going to open up the workspace, go to Tools and Settings, and then I'm going to head to Organization Settings. And this is kind of my admin zone for Slack. Okay. I'm going to head down to the Salesforce tab, and I am going to click on Agentforce. All right, you see that our project manager agent is here. It's ready for us to review, so I can click that review button. And you can go ahead and click any of these little down arrows to see the information about the different actions that you've added. So it's important to call out here. You might think it's overkill since we added these particular actions to our agent. But what happens in an organization where the Slack admin is different from the Salesforce admin? This is going to give them insight into what type of actions this agent can take. So I'm going to click allow. I'm going to add this agent to our workspace. And now I get to decide who has access to it. I'm going to say that everyone has access. And that was our final step to deploy our agent in Slack. It might take a little bit of time for your agent to be ready. Slackbot will send you a message when it has been deployed. So go ahead and try this in your playground, and I'll wait. All right, shall we test it out? I'm back in my workspace. I am going to actually go ahead and refresh this to make sure that our changes are available. And then I am going to head down to our Agentforce tab. So you'll see here I have our project manager agent available. And if I open this up, it's going to actually give me some suggestions for questions or tasks that I can use with this agent. But I have a couple in mind. So let's go ahead and start a conversation with our agent. And there it is. Remember, we asked or gave our agent the instruction that it needs a title. So let's say the title should be Kate Clicks Through It. All right.
That is how we deploy agents directly into our users' communication hub.
As Salesforce admins, when we bring agents into Slack, they can become our digital coworker and partner. This can mean massive productivity gains and happy users. To dive deeper into using agents in Slack, head over to Trailhead or check out our videos on the Agentforce Decoded series on the admin's YouTube channel. We also have a blog post on the admins page about bringing the Agentforce advantage to Slack. That's a wrap on this click-through. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what other click-throughs you'd like us to do together. Until then, keep clicking and keep learning.